Well, it's still February, and we are still focusing on love. But as we all know, love is our focus every Sunday, no matter what the month. To speak of spirit or source energy at all. To speak of God as all is to speak of love. As we said last Sunday, love is love. And that's true no matter what name we give it when we speak of it. As Shakespeare famously wrote, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Oh, the sweetness of love by any other name is the fragrance that fills the air we breathe with life itself. Now, Valentine's Day is behind us, but I'm sure many of us not only felt love in the air last Wednesday, but we witnessed it manifesting in the sweetest ways everywhere. For instance, when I was at Kroger's, there were so many men of all ages and shapes and sizes carrying beautiful, delicate bouquets of flowers around with them. I mean, they were holding them as some of them were looking for cards, and they were holding them as some of them were trying to shop for groceries. In fact, there were so many men standing in the checkout line with their flowers that it looked like a garden in bloom. There's an old adage that says if you see a man carrying flowers on any other day but Valentine's Day, you have to wonder what he's done. But even though Valentine's Day is behind us, love is still in the air, and we can see it, and we can feel it everywhere if we choose to. The 14th century Persian poet Hafez wrote, "This sky where we live is no place to lose your wings. So love, love, love." Love is the wind beneath our wings. It's the movement of pure positive energy that lifts us up where we belong, into that high, holy, conscious vibration of our perfect creation. As we soar in the freedom of that clear, sacred sky of consciousness, we become aware of the unlimited possibilities for living our life fully and loving it completely as we do. A Course of Love tells us that the human spirit that knows love knows that love is not in need of restriction, but rather in need of being unrestrained. If we want to live happily ever after, then we can start right now by letting go and letting love flow above us, beneath us, and through us. Whatever the question, whatever the problem may be in our life or in the world, the answer is unrestrained love. Everyone loves a lover, and everyone loves to be a lover, and that's why we feel so unhappy when we restrict love through us for any reason. The human spirit that knows love and chooses it as his or her self-expression, no matter what the circumstances, becomes an extraordinary vibrational free space where unconditional love flows into this world. When we're in love with being love in our life, more than we like being right, when we love living our life and we allow others to live their life without attaching our opinion to it, we feel our wings and we soar in the sky of spirit where we know that there is nothing impossible to us. Now, as it's been mentioned, the title of today's talk is Wish Upon a Star. A wish is a desire. We could say that when we wish upon a star, our desire rises higher into that space of awareness where answered prayer already dwells. And I just want you to know that Jiminy Cricket was already booked for today, or he'd be here to sing his song. But we all know the lyrics to it anyway. In fact, they're pretty much what we talk about all the time here at LAC. So just to refresh your memory, when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. When your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do. So the first question this morning for each of us is this: are we a dreamer or are we a realist? In other words, do we feel the power of our spiritual wings and let our imagination soar so that it enriches our life? Or do we focus on the world and just wish our problems would go away, while believing all the while there's a whole lot of reasons why many of them are there to stay? Do we believe that anything our heart desires, anything, will come to us? Or do we believe that some of our requests are too extreme, too unrealistic to come true at this point in our life? Michelangelo wrote, probably in paint, the greatest danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our goal. If we don't desire higher than what we see in the physical world, if we don't dream up more than has already manifested in this world, and if we don't desire something greater for our individual life because we think we can't have it or that we don't deserve it, then we're stuck with what is. Because we're not dreaming up anything greater in our mind that can manifest in our life. The way of the heart tells us that the nature of a being of love is to extend, to bring love into form. When our heart is in our dream, we're in love with our dream. We love the idea of it. We love the feeling of it. And we live with the happy anticipation of its arrival in form. When our heart is in our dream, we are actually loving our dream into manifestation. There's no power like the power of love to make our dreams come true. When there's nothing within us to restrict our dream from becoming into form, into this physical world, as Jimmy Cricket might say, it's like a bolt out of the blue. Fate steps in to see us through, because that's what it feels like. And fate is just another name for the law of attraction. We're only fated to what we believe is true and what we put out into the universe in that way. We are spiritual beings of love, living in a universe of love that is governed by the law of love, which says, "It is done unto you and given unto you as you believe." You are free to dream any dream, and it will be made manifest for you. In the book of Matthew in the Aramaic Bible, we read, "For amen, I say to you, that if you had faith like a grain of mustard seed, you may say to this mountain, 'Move from here,' and it will move, and nothing will be difficult for you." We make our life difficult, but nothing needs to be difficult. As spiritual beings, we are one with the source energy that creates worlds upon worlds and universes and multiverses. And that same source energy creates in our individual life, whether we aim high or whether we aim low. It doesn't matter. It's up to us. If we're wondering how high we're aiming, all we need to do is look at our life and what has manifested so far for us. We look at our physical body and everything else in our life. Science of Mind tells us life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. I mean, we can spend our vibrational thought coins wishing that pain in our body would go away, or wishing a family member or a friend or the other drivers on the road or someone in the government would behave differently. But when we don't wish upon a star, which is to say when we don't desire from a heart that is filled with love, we'll spend our time experiencing sameness. Whether it's a continued pain in our body or a metaphorical pain in our neck. And then complain that nothing changes. Complaining doesn't change anything because it disallows or prevents any higher experience in our life than our focus on the physical world allows to manifest. Science of Mind tells us pure spirit is at the center of everything and is always responding to our thought. Not just some of the time, not just occasionally, not just when we want it to, but all of the time. There is no limit to its manifestation for us except the limitations that we set. And we set them by aiming too low. I mean, do we still dare to dream, or do we believe it's too late? The only difference between you and me and Don Quixote is that anything we dream is possible. Nothing we dream is impossible. We can move mountains, and it won't be difficult. It will be miraculously easy, like a bolt out of the blue. We're free to desire higher, to wish upon a star in that high, holy realm of invisible spirits, as dreamers do. As those who trust, there's so much more to us and this world than meets the physical eye. Pure spirit, the pure source energy that rocks the universe and rocks our world, is at the center of everything, because it's the power of love that creates everything, and the energy of love that brings it into form. Nobody else is doing it. It's in a butterfly, or an elephant, or a flower, or a tree, or a mountain, or a molehill, and it's in you and me, or we wouldn't be here right now. If we're here in this human environment, sitting here in our human body, then we've got a whole lot more dreaming to do. We're not done with our dreams. There's no limit, even now, to what we can be and do and have and experience if we don't set limits for ourselves. We don't have to struggle or effort in this life. We're already spiritual beings, free to dream a dream. And it can be any dream. We choose it to be. And it is already the dream we are choosing. If we have faith, that's a grain of mustard seed. We know how tiny that is. And we allow our desires to rise beyond the appearances of this physical world. All of it. Our body, our relationships, our finances, all of it. We'll become aware that no matter what, there's no request that's too extreme. We'll know that it makes no difference who we are. That love is loving us already and so ready to bring about our heart's desire. When our heart is in our dream, we love that dream. We love the idea of it. We love the feel of it. And when our dream feels true, there's nothing to prevent our dream from coming true in our physical world. Namaste.